I'd just like to preface that this voiceover is not going to match up with the pictures, just because I have a lot more to say than there are seconds in the videos. So let's get started. Here we are at the peak of my happiness, the beginning of this wondrous week-long vacation that is completely going to transport me home through my best friends visiting. I still cannot believe that they were able to come over here. It's absolutely insane to me, even after the fact. This first morning was spent just as it should have been. Katie and I half-watched Miss Congeniality and got ready to wait for Miss Sarah's flight. We headed to a chain diner, Komeda's Coffee, and we ate the most juicy and crispy chicken and shrimp cutlet sandwiches, along with some coffee and potato salad that knocks your aunt's recipe out of the park. And on the train, we saw so many moms and dads and girls and everyone obsessing over this K-pop idol group/competition. It's still a mystery what was going on, but I've never seen a craze like that before. Anyways, we picked up Sarah. Yes, she's really here, and headed to a Tokyo FC game. While the rain shooed us away like flies, we got some food and drinks in before the following day. We were brought back to Komeda's Coffee, like girls to a mystery box. We headed off to the station in search of Shimokitazawa, the most wonderful vintage shopping district. This is my second time visiting here and also visiting the Brooklyn Roasting Company. The last time was with my sweet Sakshi. This time we tried the espresso ginger beer with a side of raspberry lemon loaf, and it did not disappoint. We ended the night with two maybe minutes of a Cinderella story before absolutely passing out. The next morning lured us into Sukiya. It was our first time trying this Japanese fast food chain. Katie got a chicken curry, Sarah with a breakfast plate, and me with a sweet pork and natto set. Incredibly divine. We sure did return for dinner later this week. Our second day brought us into some hot spots. We pranced through Meiji Shrine, got ourselves some good luck charms and fortunes, and emerged out into the city center of Shinjuku. Katie and Sarah grabbed these raspberry or strawberry yogurt matchas, and then we hit a few stores. As we made our way into the alleyways of Harajuku, we stopped every few feet just by the smell or scene of a new food. Of course, I got a potato. We waited for centuries at Sushiro. In human time, about 2 hours. I really cherished these long, drawn hours because it felt oddly homely. And the longer the minutes felt, the more it seemed like I was stuck here in a time warp bubble with my sisters, and no one could pop it. After dinner, we trained home blissfully full. The entirety of this trip has consisted of Sarah and Katie either reading or doing crosswords or doing LinkedIn games. And I would not parallel play commute any other way. I wish it was never ending. Also to note, we played the chain game, I'm sure there's many, and an out loud version of LinkedIn's pinpoint game, more so adding to the summer camp glorious feeling of this entire trip. Next page. The following day, we got to feast our eyes in nature within the Shinjuku National Gardens. Endless opportunities for fresh, deep breaths and sweaty faces. Oh, but before that, we had to make a stop at Tsukiji Fish Market for sweet treats and street food galore. These strawberry daifukus, dreamy, creamy crab, croquettes, I believe, Wagyu skewers, and mango shaved ice, to name a few. Not a lot was pictured, it was devoured pretty quickly, so you'll have to take my word for it. Next, post gardens and greenhouse, we pushed ourselves to a cafe and sat across from some gabbing old ladies, just like a picture of our future. I slurped down my matcha frappuccino and scarfed down an egg sandwich and a hot dog, and we were off. Time to get ready, nap, and head out to an omakase dinner. It was insanity. Perhaps the best sushi to ever come across my chopsticks and fingers. We treated ourselves to a cheeky gelato, and Katie Ubered us home en route sleepy. After a few hours of sleep, maybe a little more, we had an early morning wake up because it was time for our vacation from our vacation. Off to Mount Fuji we go. Thank you to my mom for this and her recommendation. It was honestly maybe one of my favorite highlights of the trip. It was like a road trip without any of the stress of driving or mapping out directions. And I don't think my eyes have ever been this happy before. We soaked in the sights and swans and scenery, curious of the people and envious of the people out on the water enjoying a lake day. And at last we got to see Mount Fuji come out to play, and it did not disappoint. So thank you, Katie, for a bite of this curing shaved ice. It was absolutely delectable. I think cherry flavor. Next, as the sun went down, we bussed on home. No camp songs were necessary thanks to the tune of the man snoring next to us. Yeah. All good things come to an end. My sweet Kadles headed home, her suitcase putting up a slight battle, but she won. Sarah and I ended up in an Alice in Wonderland meets cat lover's dream of a town called Kichijoji. I wish we had a few more hours or even days here. We stumbled upon this cat sanctuary of sorts, maybe a museum and a couple shops and cafes in the mix. It was wonderful. We made a pit stop and got some cheesecake, some tea, some scones, and a chai latte. Next, I felt as though I was levitating in here. The evening was really sweet to us, and we power ate dipping ramen to end the night. Then we had a little digestion walk, and it carried us into the supermarket across from our Airbnb to grab some final souvenirs and snacks and boatloads of beer for gifts back home. Our reward for packing up was this grand caramel macchiato shaved ice from Coco's restaurant. These last few trains alongside Miss Sarah were bittersweet. I wouldn't be too mad if they broke down and we were stuck here forever. After getting lost and taking an impromptu bus tour through the Hamptons of Japan, we took all the wrong turns to wind up in this dreamy Studio Ghibli-themed cafe. I finally had to say safe travels to Sarah. I really hope you're sleeping like a baby now. This was one hell of a trip. I'm eager to continue documenting these special moments and savoring my pieces of good in the world. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.